Hi, this is Savara from Scrappy Mania, and today I want to show you another project. Now, I've been having fun this whole week. That's why you've probably been seeing a lot of videos coming your way, because I took a week off. So my birthday was last Saturday, and I decided to treat myself and take a whole week off and do a staycation, in where I just going to craft and catch up on my scrapbooking and my layouts. And tomorrow, actually, I'm going to have to print some pictures because I couldn't find any pictures to scrap. I'm going to print some pictures and start creating some layouts, and hopefully I'll be able to upload those shortly. But one thing you saw in my video haul for my birthday, I bought these diffusers. So I want to show you how they work. And the thing also that I noticed, the diffuser works perfect for my small little embossing folders. But how about this big embossing folder? See, it's a little short. It's not as big as I would like it to be. So then it occurred to me, maybe I can create my own embossing folder. So I went to my hardware store. I bought a Plexiglas. Now this was $8. I got it at my local Ace Hardware. And then I did have to purchase this cutter. I'm not sure what it is, but it's some kind of cutter that is used for acrylic. And I'm going to show you how to use it, because it's kind of a little tedious, but it works. It's good. I did not dare use my Dromo or drill or anything like that to cut this stuff. But what I wanted is, I wanted something to cover this whole piece, because if I use this, it will emboss, but it will also leave ridges on the this side of the embossing folder. So I'm going to have some ridges here, some ridges here. And what happened if I wanted to use that design right here? I can't, because once I place this on, this is not going to get embossed, nor the middle part is going to get embossed. So I decided to create my own. So what I did is I measured it out. Let's see if I find one. So I measured it out, and then I cut my Plexiglas to be a little bigger than my embossing folder. Now, I did crack some because I'm experimenting, so I did crack some trying to get it out, but no worries. Just put a little bit of tape. You can even put packing tape, and it's going to work fine. It's going to work fine and dandy, so don't have to worry about this. And actually, I was thinking that, maybe I can just make stripes, different strips, and then I can lay those strips on my embossing folder like so, and emboss it, and then I will have little lines of embossing pattern, while the underneath it will not get embossed. Hey, that's a good idea. But I might be doing that. But anyhow, let me show you how to create this piece. And actually, before I show you how to create that, let's go ahead and emboss something so you can see what the advantage of having a diffuser. And I'm going to use this one because this is the one that I really like, this one. And then I'm going to also use this one. So I'm going to show you what it does. Now, one thing I like to do is I like to have different type of shims, because I don't know if I'm going to need a shim or not. But I got a thinner shim, and then this shim, and then I got a thicker one, and then cereal boxes. So usually I have different type of shims, and I kind of keep this just in case I need it when I emboss. Now, I did already started cutting out my pages. So first I'm going to use the little one so you can see how the little one works. And these embossing folders are actually the ones that I bought at HSN. I'm on the auto ship, so I get them every 3 months. So these are the ones that I just purchased at HSN in July, and I've been getting them. And I'm supposed to get one more shipment. Hopefully it should be here in December. But I really like these embossing folders. So, and another thing I really like is I'm thinking about using some of these to make a Christmas tree for as an embossing, cut a Christmas shape, if I can figure out how to do that with what I have. But I think that will look nice. I might even decide to use, you can probably even use cut a shape out of this thing, and then use that if you don't have Plexiglas. That will be also awesome. But I decided to use the Plexiglas because I want it to be durable. And you know, this is gonna give, when you put it underneath, it's just gonna warp a little bit. So you know, I'll show you what you need to do. You need to put the A plate, the B plate, your embossing folder, and then your diffusers. This is called a diffuser. You're going to put it where you want the opening to be, if it's on top or the bottom. And so you can move it around a little bit, but not too much, because if you put it down here, then this part is not going to get embossed. This part would get embossed, and this, I mean, not embossed, and then this part would get embossed. So that's why I decided to make my own, because then I can move the shape around. Okay, so once you put your embossing folder on, then you're gonna crank it through. Okay. And let's see what we got. And see how beautiful that looks? This part didn't get embossed, so then you can put a little saying and things like that on there, but the rest of the card got embossed. So how about if I try, so that's why I cut two, because I want to show you also with using this piece. So let me go ahead and get another piece. Okay, let me bring back my Cuttlebug. Let me go ahead and put my B plate down, my A plate, my B plate. Put this, and maybe I just want the middle part to get embossed. Let's go put it there. Okay, now you might have to tape this down, because you don't really, it's gonna have a little bit of problems going underneath the rollers. So my advice to you is to tape it down so it doesn't move. It's kind of hard to kind of get it through the opening. Let me see if I put this plate is kind of warped, and I think I'm going to get a solution for that one, but for now it's good enough. So if your plate is warped like mine, just put it upside down. You can use these. These will be good for embossing. Your cutting may have a little issue using these plates, but it's okay. It'll still work. Now, remove this. And see? Just the middle part got embossed. Okay, so let me show you my dilemma or my problem, because the diffuser, this is what this is called, it is smaller than my big Anna Griffin Cuttlebug folder. So let me show you what happens because it is smaller. So let's say I got a paper just to fit my embossing folder. I'm going to put my B plate. But when I put my diffuser, watch what happens. Oops. Let me just put it this way. It's probably be better. Okay. So this is what happens. I got this here, but see right here, because it was smaller, it just embossed that piece. Now I missed all the other piece because this had like a little scallop edge. The embossing folder had a little scallop edge on each side, but because my diffuser was a little smaller, it didn't do the embossing here. It just didn't work. Now let me show you with the plate that I designed for it. So I'm going to put this one. Now I may need to use some of my shimmies. I don't know, I may. Let's see. Yeah, it's going in too easily. So how about, yeah, that's perfect. It just needs a thin little shim. Now let's look at it. And see, I was able to get all of the sides. See how pretty that looks? I was able to get the side of that embossing folder, the bottom of that embossing folder, and the top. Perfect, perfect. And then you see the little mist area in there. This is nice and blank, no embossing. And then think about it. Or you can go ahead and take your Martha Stewart scoring board and you can put extra lines. So let's go ahead and do that. So you'll see the ideas that you can do with this. And you can emboss right on the sides here. Turn it over. And it's like, it's perfect. I think it's perfect. Then you can even do two lines. And see, you'll get a nice little ridge. And I should have done it upside down, but see how you can get that nice little ridge on there? Put a little panel, a little saying right here, and it's perfect. So let me show you how to create your own diffuser. It's not that easy though. If you use plexiglass, it might be easier if you just create. You can take like a thick cardboard and you can make shapes with it and use it in your embossing folder. But I noticed that my cardboard get disintegrated. You know, when all that pressing, it kind of starts crumbling and breaking apart. So that's why I decided that maybe using acrylic may be the way to go. But let me show you how to do it. So let me put everything aside because I'm going to need the space. So you're going to take your piece, okay, and then you're going to use your big embossing folder and measure it out. Okay, where is my marker? There's my marker. Going to measure it out. Okay. Then I'm going to take my ruler, and I have a T-square, and I'm going to make a line. Now this has a protected coating, so you're not damaging your acrylic block. But I mean, even if it didn't have acrylic, that's fine because this is just for embossing. So no big deal. Okay. Now what you need is your tool. This little tool. And the way to score this is you need a metal ruler. And the way to score this, I put it on an angle. If you try to do it that way, I was just, see how it's kind of like goes towards the center, and I was messing up some of my cuts. But if you keep it on an angle, this tip, and you just go a couple times. Okay, then you turn it around. And you do the same thing here. Now, recommend that you protect, if you have a nice cutting surface like I have there, you want to protect it. So, because sometimes you miss and you nick. See right there? That's usually, I nick my cutting mat with this piece. This is okay because this is not something I use a lot. So, I mean, this is okay. I can mess this one up. But I wouldn't do that to this cutting mat on the bottom. So then once you start to score, it's easy to just go over it without the ruler. And you need to have a lot of patience. Lots of patience, because you want to go slowly and really keep going on the score marks until you cut it. And notice I'm using this angle. It really works best if you use the angle. Okay? And then you cut that piece out. And you know, what I've been doing is I've been watching some TV or my iPad. I've been watching some programs. So it's kind of a nice thing to do in front of the TV or with in front of the computer. Just watch some programs while you keep scoring, because it's gonna take a long time to score it. So then the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna figure out where you want the opening. So what I did is I used my T score, and I kind of figure out how much I want from the end to have embossing areas, and I lined it up. And then I just went ahead and marked there, turned it over. I want a little bit more here, marked here, you know, with the T-score. I recommend you have a T-score to do this. Mark it over, do that. And then in here I just did another line, because what I want is I want a little opening on top, not necessarily on the bottom. And then you do the same thing. You take this, you start scoring all sizes, and then when you're done doing your couple of scores, you can remove the ruler and just keep scoring. Okay, so I was finally able to cut it out, and it took me a while. However, it did crack right there, but luckily we can use some tape and repair that little crack there. And then I always put tape on the other side. Okay, now let's test it out. So let me bring back my cutter block. So I got my A plate, my embossing folder. Actually, this was the small one. I should have made the bigger one. Oh well. We'll see how it comes out. Oh, see, it's going too smoothly. So we need to put a shim. Now that works better. So let's see what we got. And there, it created that little area right there that's open, and then emboss the rest. Now I'll need to make another one, which will be this one. I will cut it and then I'll do an opening again, and that will work for my big plate. I hope this was informative, and you can go ahead, if you have some acrylic, you can go ahead and use that. It does take a long time to do this. You can also do the same thing out of cardstock. But after a while, your cardstock will get deteriorated as you get it, get it through the rollers. It kind of damages the cardstock, and that's why I decided to do it with plexiglass. But if you have a different way that you can cut plexiglass, let me know, because it does take forever to cut it using this. And I just haven't cut this one. I would love to be able to cut this circle, but I just don't know how to do it with this, because it's perfect for straight lines, but for those curves, I don't know. I don't think it's going to work. But if you do have an idea how this could work, if you have a way that we can cut plexiglass with something else, let me know, and I'll try that out. And I hope you like this video, and thank you for watching. Bye now.